The drama opens with Jia lying on a desk in an office, utterly exhausted. Suddenly, a flood of memories from her previous life rushes back. We see a horrific scene. She is clutching her chest, suffering a severe heart attack. She frantically searches for her medicine, but the bottle is empty. Just then, her mother calls. "Mom, I'm having a heart attack and I'm out of medicine. Please, call an ambulance," Jia pleaded, her voice strained. Her mother's voice was cold and demanding. "Stupid girl, why haven't you sent us this month's money? You know your father needs it. We have to buy a house for your brother. He just got married. Stop trying to trick us with these excuses. Stop the foolish drama and send the money." Jia kept repeating, "Mom, I'm not lying." But her mother was consumed only by talk of money, money, money. In that moment, helpless and abandoned, Jia died right there on the office floor. Snapping back to the present, Jia was still reeling from the memory. A manager strode over, slamming documents onto her desk. "Here, finish these as soon as possible." Jia recognized the documents instantly. "This is the King Yuan project. And this company, this is the same time period, about 100 years ago, when I first started here after graduation and became the vice president. Everyone here, even my own parents, treated me so terribly that it led to my death. But now I have another chance. Heaven has given me an opportunity, and I won't waste it." She looked up at the manager. "I won't do this project." "What did you say? How dare you refuse me?" the manager roared. "Yes, I refuse," Jia said calmly. "What are you going to do about it?" The manager sneered. "Pack your bags and get out of here." He mentally scoffed. "She won't leave. She'll stay, I know her." But Jia simply placed her ID card on the desk. "Fine, I'm going." "Wait, you can't just leave. I haven't even processed your resignation." Jia ignored him completely and walked out. Outside, her mother called again. "Why haven't you sent the money? Should we come to your office and make a scene?" "Go ahead," Jia said, walking away. "I already resigned." Then, without hesitation, she blocked her mother's number. "I won't repeat my past mistakes," she vowed. "Nothing bad will happen to me this time." She checked her bank balance. "I barely have any money. How am I going to live?" She knew she needed a job immediately. Her eyes landed on a sign for a domestic help agency. She walked in and presented her resume. The staff looked impressed. "Your resume is excellent. Are you sure you want to be a maid?" "Yes," Jia confirmed. "What's wrong with that?" "Very well. We have a position in South City. The Su family needs someone to care for two elderly people, a grandpa and a grandma, for 2 months while their regular maid is away. The pay is 20,000 per month." "I'll take it," Jia said at once. Jia arrived at the Su family residence. "My name is Jiang," she introduced herself to the elderly couple. The grandpa and grandma were immediately delighted by her presence. "Please," Jia told them, "go and enjoy your gardening. I'll make you a hot, delicious meal." Jia began cooking a lavish spread of incredible dishes. When the grandpa took his first bite, he exclaimed, "Wow, girl, your hands have magic. Hey, old woman, you try this. It's amazing." The grandma took a bite and agreed enthusiastically. "Jia, where did you learn to cook like this?" "I used to work as a maid before, so I know a lot," Jia replied modestly. "Did you like it?" "We loved it," they both chorused. The grandpa then instructed a servant, "Call our grandson Su and tell him we've found a maid. He doesn't need to look for anyone else." He then turned to Jia with a warm smile. "You are like family to us now. Don't eat like a stranger. Sit down and eat with us." Meanwhile, the drama's handsome male lead Su was in his office. His assistant reported, "Boss, the girl working at King Yuan, surnamed Jiang, she suddenly resigned." "Jiang?" Su mused. "The girl who stole that major deal from us? I've been wanting to see who she is." "I'll find out, boss," the assistant replied. "And what about the maid for grandpa and grandma?" "Still looking, boss." Little did Su know, the mysterious woman he was trying to find and the perfect maid his grandparents had just hired were the very same person. "Please, no, you both eat," Jia insisted, though she was touched by their invitation. Later, Jia was happily gardening with the grandma. The grandma's phone rang. It was Su, the grandson. The grandma walked away to talk. "You know, our new maid is wonderful. So pretty, so gentle. She takes such good care of us. You must come visit so we can introduce you to our little fish." Su sighed on the other end. "Grandma, I'm extremely busy. I'll come later." "Fine," the grandma huffed. Meanwhile, Su, in his quest to find the elusive Miss Jiang who had wronged his company, had tracked down her old address. A woman there confirmed, "Yes, a girl named Jiang used to live here. We called her Little Fish, but she moved out." The nickname immediately clicked with Su. He recalled his grandma mentioning Little Fish. Could this Little Fish be the same Miss Jiang? Back at the Su residence, the grandpa walked up to Jia. "Hey, Little Fish, let's go fishing." The grandma scoffed. "Fishing? You barely catch 1 fish a month, and now you're dragging our poor little fish along." The grandpa waved her off. "You'll see. Today I'll catch a ton. You'll come with me, won't you, little fish?" "Of course, grandpa," Jia replied, smiling. Jia and the grandpa arrived at the fishing spot. Everyone there immediately started teasing the grandpa about his poor luck. "You never catch anything," they laughed. The grandpa winked at Gia. Little fish, let's shut them up today. We're going to catch a feast. While the grandpa prepared his rod, Gia began digging in the soil, pulling out earthworms. What are you doing? The grandpa asked. We have bait. This is natural bait, Gia explained. Earthworms will attract the fish much faster. Gia helped the grandpa bait his hook with the earthworms and cast the line. Immediately, the line went taut. The grandpa reeled it in and pulled out a huge fish. Everyone was shocked. What? How did that happen? I wanted that fish. They crowded around Gia. How did you do that, girl? Gia showed them the earthworms. Everyone quickly switched to the natural bait. But when they cast their lines, nothing happened. The grandpa beamed. It's because I brought my lucky little fish today. She's sitting right next to me. That's why I'm catching everything. The crowd immediately turned to Gia. Little fish, come sit next to me. Come be my lucky charm. The grandpa raised his hand. Hold on. I'm the one who decides who she sits with, and whoever she sits next to has to pay her. We'll pay. Everyone agreed instantly. Gia, amused, went and sat next to various people, and sure enough, fish started filling their nets. By the end of the day, everyone had caught a ton of fish and happily paid Gia. As the others left, the grandpa proudly held up a string of fish. Little fish, take my picture. He posed dramatically with his catch while Gia snapped a photo. He then posted it to his WeChat. In his office, Sue took a sip of coffee, looked at his phone, and immediately spat out his drink. My grandpa posted a picture on WeChat. That's the first time ever. He video called the grandpa immediately. You saw how many fish I caught? The grandpa boasted. I did, Sue said, trying to contain his curiosity. Looks like little fish is taking good care of you. Suddenly, Sue heard Gia's sweet voice in the background telling the grandpa, Grandpa, wash your hands. Sue was momentarily lost in the sound. What's wrong, boy? The grandpa asked. Nothing. Enjoy your day, Sue replied, quickly ending the call. Gia realized 2 months had flown by. Grandma and grandpa have been so kind to me, she thought. They never made me feel like an outsider. The grandma came in. Today I'm cooking. You go and rest. But Grandma, I've eaten enough of your delicious cooking. Now you need to taste mine. I'm a great cook too. The grandma shooed her away, then cooked a large, impressive meal. Why so many dishes? Gia asked. Is it a special occasion? The grandpa walked in, holding a cake. Is it your birthday, Grandpa? No, little fish, the grandma said, a soft smile on her face. It's your birthday. They both wished her happy birthday. Gia burst into tears. She hugged the grandma tightly. What's wrong, dear? The grandma asked. I'll miss you both so much, Gia cried. Then why don't you just stay here forever? The grandma suggested. I can't. I checked, and your regular maid is coming back tomorrow. It wouldn't be right for me to stay. Ah, I remember now, the grandma said brightly. Our grandson Su Linian, his maid went home for a month to care for her new grandson. You can go take care of him. Gia froze. Su Linian, is he really your grandson? Yes. Didn't you know? I know he's famous, Gia said thinking, and I know I stole a massive deal from his company in my past life. If he finds out, what will he think of me? And now grandma wants me to work as a maid for him. What should I do? The grandma saw her hesitation. What are you thinking? You'll go, won't you? I know you'll take excellent care of our Su. Gia, unable to refuse the kind woman, agreed. The next morning, the grandpa and grandma came out to send Gia off. Surprisingly, the group of old fishermen from the other day were there too. Little fish, we heard you're leaving, so we came to see you off, one said. If you haven't found a job yet, you can come work as a maid for me. The grandpa beamed. She's going to my grandson's house since his maid is away. The old men were impressed. Little fish, one said, I never caught a fish in my life, but your earthworm trick taught me so much. The grandpa shooed them away. All right, let little fish go now. They parted to make a path for her. Gia met up with her friend at a restaurant, who immediately asked about the maid work. I love it, Gia declared. It's so much better than being vice president. I can work, I can rest, and I can enjoy myself. And guess what? Now I'm going to be working as a maid for your boss, Su. Gia's friend gasped. Oh my god, may heaven protect you. What are you doing? Gia laughed. You don't know what my boss is like. I'm scared for you. How is he going to treat you? Gia arrived at Su's house. The assistant met her at the door. You must be the maid grandma sent, he said. Yes, Gia confirmed. I'm Su's assistant. Let me explain the job. He went through every detail of Su's life, his preferences, his dislikes, his schedule. Gia diligently wrote everything down. Got all that? The assistant asked. Yes, completely. Don't worry. I won't do anything to displease your boss, Gia assured him. The assistant stared at her. Is there something else? Gia asked. The assistant leaned in conspiratorially. There's one thing you should know. The boss looks strict on the outside, but he's actually very shy, he whispered, then blushed. Shy? Gia thought. She remembered her past attraction to him. The assistant was right. He does have a strong aura. She smiled to herself. Your room is upstairs, the assistant directed. I won't be staying here, Gia said. I rented a room nearby. I'll commute. Okay, I'll let the boss know. I have to go now. Once the assistant left, Gia threw herself into cleaning the entire house. The assistant reported to Su. I explained everything to the maid. She understood all the requirements, but she doesn't want to live in the villa. She wants to rent a room nearby. Why doesn't she want to stay here? Su asked quickly. Boss, what are you saying? The assistant sputtered. I mean, there's a perfectly good room for her in the villa. Why rent a room somewhere else? else. Sue corrected himself. Go find out where she's staying and what the rent is. The assistant left wondering why the boss was so interested in the new maid. Gia spent the afternoon making a delicious dinner for Sue. She left a note. I'm leaving now. Please eat this hot meal when you arrive. After you finish, just leave the plate and chopsticks on the table. I will wash them in the morning. Sue smiled when he read the note. He tasted the food and was immediately impressed. Wow, this is truly delicious. No wonder my grandparents praised her cooking so much. He quickly finished the meal. She did so much work, he thought. I should put the plates in the kitchen. He picked up the dishes. As he tried to put them away, a plate slipped from his hand and crashed to the floor. I didn't do it, he muttered instinctively, then quickly retreated to his room. The next morning, Gia arrived to find the table empty. How considerate. He put everything away in the kitchen, she thought. But when she walked into the kitchen, she saw the shattered plate on the floor. I knew it. He made a mess. She started cleaning the broken glass. Meanwhile, Sue was watching her from the top of the stairs. I really created extra work for her. I should go apologize, he thought. He was about to descend when he saw that Gia had already finished cleaning and was now setting out a beautiful breakfast for him. Gia started up the stairs to call him, but then saw him standing there. I'm the maid sent by your grandparents, she said. Breakfast is ready. Please come and eat. You eat too, Sue offered, but his ears turned bright red. The assistant was right, Gia thought, noticing his blush. He really is shy. I already ate, Gia said. And now I need to go clean your room. Gia then headed to Sue's room to collect his laundry. She spotted his underwear and sighed. What is this? She asked herself. Gia, you are a professional maid. You can do this. Just treat it like any other piece of cloth. She gathered the clothes and took them to be washed. The next day, when Sue left for the office, he paused. He saw Gia's shoes by the door. Gia hasn't left yet, he thought. He found her sitting at the kitchen table, working diligently on something. You're a very good maid, he said to her. Then quickly correcting himself, he added, I mean, your ability is impressive. You handle so many things so well. Gia smiled. Thank you. Your breakfast is getting cold. Please eat quickly. Sue quickly ate, and as he was leaving, he watched Gia effortlessly pick up the plates. She's a total professional, he concluded. He went to his room and checked his drawers, noticing his underwear had been washed and returned. This made him turn around and walk back to the kitchen to see Gia again. What is it, Sue? Do you need something? She asked. No, he mumbled. I've finished all the dishes. I'm leaving now. After she left, Sue went to his computer and searched. Is it easy to wash clothes like that? After reading a few articles, he sighed. Forget it. I'll just wash my own from now on. The next day at the office, Sue was distracted, staring into space. His assistant came in. Boss, check these documents. I finished them by working overtime. Sue's mind was elsewhere. Tell me, he asked. Is it normal for a maid to wash your undergarments? The assistant was bewildered. I wouldn't know, boss. I don't have a maid. Just then, the assistant received a message from Gia. Is Sue working overtime today? Oh right, the assistant realized. I forgot to tell you. He messaged her back. Yes, the boss will be working late. What's going on? Sue asked. I forgot to inform Gia that you'll be working late, the assistant explained. Be more careful next time, Sue instructed. He paused. Do you have Gia's WeChat? Yes, boss. Send it to me. The moment the assistant sent the contact, Sue immediately sent Gia a friend request. He kept checking his phone, wondering why she hadn't accepted. The assistant, observing Sue constantly checking his phone instead of the important documents, asked, Boss, these documents are important. Why are you looking at your phone? Should I just tell Gia to accept your friend request? Who said I'm looking at my phone? Sue snapped, pretending to look at his watch. I'm checking the time. The assistant thought, the boss has been acting strange for days. It has to be because of that maid. Suddenly, Sue stood up. I'm going home. Gia must have cooked and thrown the food away by now. She's probably furious, he thought, rushing out. When he got home, Gia wasn't there. She must have thrown the food away, he assumed. Meanwhile, Gia was packing up the food in her rented room. She called her friend. Come over, let's party. The boss is working overtime tonight. The next day, Gia came to work and Sue approached her. Are you mad at me? Why would I be mad? She replied. Then why haven't you accepted my friend request on WeChat? You sent me one? Gia checked her phone. Oh, your profile picture looked like a scam account. So, I ignored it. You should have told me it was you. There, I've accepted. Can I go back to work now? Gia made a fresh cup of coffee and brought it to Sue's room. He was working, even though it was the weekend. She handed him the mug. This coffee is excellent. Where did you order it from? He asked. I made it myself, she replied, turning to leave. Wait, stay for a minute. Help me with this, he said, gesturing to a stack of files. More work? Gia asked playfully. I'll give you a bonus, Sue countered. Deal, I'll help you, she said. As she handed him a file, their hands brushed. A sudden jolt of static electricity electricity passed between them, making Sue's ears turn bright red again. He's blushing again, Jia thought, amused. Sue, recovering, asked awkwardly, would you consider working for my company? No, Jia said firmly. I don't like high-pressure work. All right, he conceded, but let me know if you ever change your mind. In the next scene, the furious CEO of Jia's old company was tearing into the manager. What did you do to make Jia quit? I don't care. Go grovel. Do whatever it takes, but bring her back. The manager, fuming, called Jia. Hello Jia, it's been a while. How are you? Jia's voice was dry. Stop the fake sweetness. Why did you call? I know you haven't found a good job yet, the manager wheedled. Just come back. I genuinely apologize for everything. Jia scoffed. You don't need to worry about me or my job. Go find someone else. I'm not coming back. She hung up. Sue, who had been standing right behind her, spoke up. I didn't come to eavesdrop. I just came to eat. Where are you going? Come eat with me. Jia joined him. Who was that? Sue asked. The people from my old company. Were they treating you badly? Sue asked, his voice hardening. Just tell me once. No, it wasn't like that, Jia insisted. They were nice at first, but then they treated me poorly, so I quit. But now, they don't have the guts to hurt me. Next, the angry manager from Jia's former company went to her old rental house. A large, gruff man was brushing his teeth at the door. Who are you? The man grumbled. The manager sneered internally. Wow, Jia's boyfriend is huge. She has such terrible taste. He spoke to the man. Send your girlfriend Jia out here. Girlfriend? Who are you? No girl lives here, the man said, shoving the manager away. The bulky resident chased the manager off. The manager's phone rang. It was his boss. Any news on Jia? No boss, she's vanished. I'm still looking. Don't worry. Sue was in the bathroom when he yelled, Jia, the shower's leaking. Typical rich people's showers, always leaking, Jia thought. Okay, I'm coming to look. She entered the bathroom and turned to examine the shower head. Sue, distracted by the leak, leaned in close behind her to see what was wrong. As Jia turned her head, their faces collided and they shared a sudden, accidental kiss. Jia jumped back, flustered. I know what the problem is. I'm going to get my tools. She ran to her room, mentally screaming, what did I just do? She quickly returned, tools in hand, and started fixing the shower. Suddenly, the shower head burst, drenching both of them. Jia burst into laughter. Sue started laughing too, simply gazing at her, lost in her happiness. The next day, Jia packed Sue's bags. All your things are packed. Time for you to go, she said cheerfully. Sue looked at her. Why are you so happy? Because you're leaving for work and I'm on a holiday until you return, she thought. Once Sue left, Jia called her friend. My boss is gone. Time to party. They went out to eat. You know, Jia told her friend, you had the wrong idea about your boss. He's actually very nice and he treats me well. I'm really enjoying this maid job. As they were enjoying their meal, Jia's friend brought up an old topic. Do you remember your ex-boyfriend? Jia recalled. You mean Wang Wei, the one who dumped me when my parents caused a scene at the company? Speak of the devil, her friend muttered. Here comes the jinx. Jia turned. Wang Wei saw her. Jia, what are you doing here? You haven't found a job, have you? You can come stay with me. Jia's friend cut in. You broke up with her. It's none of your business whether she has a job or not. I'm talking to Jia, not you. Wang Wei snapped. My friend is right, Jia said coolly. We're done eating. Let's go. As they walked past him, Jia's friend gave Wang Wei a swift, satisfying kick and they left. The next day, Sue messaged Jia, I'll be home at 7:30. Please have dinner ready. When Sue arrived, he watched Jia cooking. Mesmerized, he walked up and handed her a gift. Oh no, I can't take something so expensive, Jia said. Sue frowned internally. What happened in the 2 days I was gone? Why is she acting so formal? Jia served dinner and was about to leave. Come eat with me, Sue insisted. During dinner, Sue suggested, stay the night. Excuse me? What did you say? Jia asked, surprised. I mean, it's snowing heavily outside. How will you ride home in this weather? Just stay here tonight. No, I'll be fine, Jia replied. Sue walked her to the door. The snow was coming down hard. Sue, you don't have a warm coat on. Go back inside. I'll be fine. She left. Down the road, a man recognized her as Sue's maid. Don't go out in this weather. The road is very slippery. You'll fall, he warned. Jia ignored him and kept walking. She slipped and fell. The man quickly called Sue. Your maid fell on the road. Sue hung up immediately and ran out. He was too late. Jia was already up and gone. Sue ran after her, calling her name. Jia turned, but the icy ground betrayed her and she slipped again. Sue, running to her rescue, also lost his footing and tumbled to the ground. Jia rushed to him. Are you hurt? Sue looked at her. I came to rescue her and now she's taking care of me. Everyone will laugh at me. Jia helped him up, wrapped her scarf around his neck and helped him onto her scooter. Hold on to me, she instructed. Sue gripped her tightly, a wide, secret smile spreading across his face as she drove. Back at the villa, Jia told Sue, take off your shirt, I'll put some medicine on your back. As Sue stripped off his shirt, Jia stared. What I have to do for this job, she thought, then put a little medicine on his back. Sue cried out. Ah, what kind of sound was that? Jia asked, bewildered. Sue thought, why did I make that sound? I'm leaving now, Jia said after applying the medicine. Which room should I take tonight? The one next to mine, Sue said. If you get bored, there's a media room. You can watch movies there. No need. need. I'll just watch on my phone, Jia replied and left. Sue lightly slapped his face. Why did I make that weird sound? Later that night, Sue went downstairs to check on her. He found Jia asleep on the couch, tablet in hand, laughing at a movie. He smiled, watching her. The next morning, Jia saw Sue rubbing his back. Didn't you sleep well? My back hurt, Sue admitted. I'm taking 2 days off. My assistant will handle the office. You can help me here. Extra work? Jia asked. Extra pay, Sue countered. Jia immediately agreed, and their work side by side began. Jia was now working alongside Sue like a true personal assistant. Sue leaned in close to her, his gaze intense. Is your name really Jia? And were you really working as just a maid before this? Yes, Jia confirmed simply. Meanwhile, back at the company, all the employees were relaxing, scrolling through their phones, certain the boss wouldn't be coming in. Suddenly, Jia's message popped up on her friend's phone. The boss will be there in 2 minutes. Pandemonium. Everyone scrambled, hiding their food and phones and pretending to work. They quickly warned the other departments. Sue walked in. His assistant handed him documents, but Sue was distracted. Your voice is terrible, he muttered, thinking back to Jia's sweet voice. The assistant was utterly confused by his boss's strange behavior. Jia messaged Sue, your meal is ready. When will you be home? Sue immediately replied, come to the office. Jia drove to the office. When she walked in, looking professional and beautiful, every employee stopped and stared. She must be Sue's girlfriend, they whispered. Jia went straight to Sue's office and handed him his lunch. Aren't you going to eat here? Sue asked. I only brought a small portion for myself, she replied. Sit down and eat anyway, Sue insisted. They ate together as the employees outside gossiped about how wonderful Sue's girlfriend was. Jia's friend, hearing all the praise, was beaming with happiness. As they ate, Sue asked, where will you go once your job here is done? I'll go far away, Jia answered vaguely. Why don't you just stay here? Sue pressed. Why not live here, just like you lived in your rented room? Jia said nothing, only focusing on her food. Frustrated by her silence, Sue slammed his chopsticks down. I'm not hungry, he stormed off to his room. Jia finished her work, made some soothing soup, and took it to his room. I'm not eating, Sue snapped. But his stomach betrayed him with a loud rumble. Fine, don't eat, Jia said. I always do my best, and now you're sending me away, just because your original maid is returning. She didn't try to coax him further, finished her task, and left for her room. After she fell asleep, Sue crept out and found the food. I knew you'd leave it for me, he whispered, eating happily. Jia woke up just long enough to see him eating, and smiled before falling back asleep. The next morning, Sue called the original maid. Auntie, you take the next year off to care for your grandson. I have a new maid here. Don't worry, my assistant will send your salary. The original maid was thrilled, and Sue hung up, a satisfied grin on his face. Later, Sue returned from the office to find Jia lying on the sofa, clutching her stomach in pain. What is it? Should I call an ambulance? He asked, alarmed. No, I don't need an ambulance, Jia managed to gasp. It's just period pain. Can you find a painkiller? Sue quickly found a pill, and Jia swallowed it without water. He gently scooped her up and carried her to her bedroom, laying her down carefully. He's so kind and caring, Jia thought, watching him. But we're too different. We can never be together. She shook the thoughts away. Get some rest now, Sue said. I will, Jia replied. I've taken the medicine, I'll be fine. Jia woke up the next morning at 10 a.m. She rushed downstairs, only to find Sue making soup, consulting his phone for the recipe. What are you doing? She asked. Making you soup? Sue said. It's good for stomach pain. It'll help you feel better. Tears welled up in Jia's eyes. She rushed to him and hugged him tightly. You are so good to me, she choked out. As Jia prepared to leave the house, Sue asked, where are you going? I'll come with you. I'm just going to the market to buy some things, Jia said. Sue insisted on joining her. At the market, Jia stopped at a pet store. I came to get this. Do you want anything? No, you get what you need. I'll look around, Sue said, walking off. Just then, her ex-boyfriend Wang Wei spotted them. He walked up to Jia. You are despicable. You broke up with me, and now you're with another man, he shouted, verbally abusing her. Jia, fed up with his disrespect, slapped him hard. Wang Wei was furious and raised his hand to strike her back. Wang Wei's hand was raised, ready to strike Jia, but before he could, Sue materialized, tackling Wang Wei and unleashing a furious beating. Jia was trembling, terrified by the confrontation. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault for causing a scene. Why are you apologizing when you did nothing wrong? Sue demanded, his voice ringing with protection. Look at me. Jia slowly met his gaze, tears streaming down her face. The police arrived, taking Wang Wei into custody. That night, Jia slept fitfully. She was tormented by a horrific dream. The manager yelled at her, accusing her of ruining the project and losing money. Her mother appeared, demanding money and screaming that her brother would die. Her father berated her, claiming that giving birth to her was his biggest mistake. Even Wang Wei was there, screaming abuse. Suddenly, Sue burst into the dream. He fought off her tormentors, defeating them all. I'm here, he told her gently. No one can ever hurt you again. Jia woke up, breathing heavily. What was that? She thought. Sue was right. I did nothing wrong. So why should I be afraid? The next day, Jia was working when the security guard called. Someone is here to see you. Jia stepped outside cried and froze. It was her mother and father. Her mother was livid. How dare you resign from your company? And why are you working as a maid here? Most importantly, why haven't you sent us any money? Jia, though trembling, stood her ground. Why do you care what job I do? It's my life. Her father looked stunned by her new defiance. How dare you speak to us like that? We gave birth to you. You owe us money, so what if you gave birth to me? Jia countered, her voice gaining strength. You sold me when I was 5. Be grateful my uncle saved me, and I've already sent you 3 or 4 times what you ever spent on me. If you don't give us the money, we will cry here and cause a scene. Her father threatened. Go ahead, Jia said, turning to walk away. I don't care. Her mother grabbed Jia's leg. Don't do this. Give us the money. How could you become so heartless? See how your mother is begging? Her father added. Don't you feel any pity? Why should I? Jia asked. Get out of here, or I'm calling the police. Her father quickly changed his tone. Fine, we'll agree to your terms. We won't cause trouble, but you must give us 2 million. I have given you enough, Jia said. I won't give you another penny. Her father pointed. Fine, then you must come with us. A distant relative's son is willing to marry you. He gave us 5 million. Fulfill one of the 2 conditions. The security guard, disgusted, said, Jia, your parents are terrible. They're trying to sell you. Jia, realizing she had to end this, cried, Fine, Mom and Dad, I accept your condition. I will go and meet this man. She walked away with them. The security guard immediately called to report the situation. Meanwhile, the assistant walked into Sue's office. Boss, I collected all the data on Miss Jiang. Here are her photos. As Sue reached for the file, he got an urgent call and left the office. The assistant, curious, opened the file. His eyes went wide. The photo was of Jia. Jia is Jiang. Across town, Jia's parents had taken her to a blind date. The man was thrilled to see her. How do you like our daughter? Her father asked. The man's parents readily agreed. She's wonderful. Good. Then we'll set the wedding date for next month, her father announced. I won't do it, Jia declared. I refuse this marriage. She turned to the prospective in-laws. My parents are trying to sell me. Do you really want to be involved with people this despicable? The man's family was aghast. We had no idea your parents were like this. The suitor, realizing his money was at risk, grabbed Jia. You can't leave. We paid your parents. I never took that money, Jia stated. Get it back from them. If they refuse, call the police. I give you my full permission. Her mother pleaded. We used that money to buy a house. We don't have it. Why are you doing this to us? Ask yourselves why, Jia said, and turned to walk out. Her parents started screaming insults at her. Just then, Sue arrived. He grabbed Jia's hand and pulled her away. Who are you? Her father demanded. I'm her boyfriend, Sue declared and led Jia out, his mind racing. I just ruined her blind date. What am I going to say to her? Thank you, Jia said softly. Thank you, Sue said, surprised. I thought you'd be mad at me for ruining your date. Why would I be mad? Jia laughed, tears finally spent. You saved me from the people who always try to control me. And you taught me that when I haven't done anything wrong, I shouldn't blame myself. Do you remember what I told your father? Sue asked, his eyes suddenly serious. I remember clearly, Jia confirmed. And you're sure about it? Yes, Sue smiled. They embraced, their long winding journey finally leading them together. And with that loving hug, the drama ends. Now hit that like and subscribe button for the next fantastic drama.